Katie's face lit up. As did the other girls' faces lit up. They all quickly got out of the pool. Eagerly Katie took James by his hand and led him over towards the girls' changing room. The lifeguard saw them, but he did not try to stop them. He had a good idea what the girls were up to, and it amused him, so he did nothing but watch. There was a changing cubicle that was free. Katie went over to her locker that had a key in it. James Mayflower looked worried as he stepped into the changing cubicle. He closed the curtain of the changing cubicle and began to nervously get changed. By now Katie had taken out of her locker her swimsuit. All of the other girls eagerly waited outside of the cubicle. James shoved all of his clothes under the drawn curtain. Sarah eagerly and swiftly took them all away with a big giggle. Sarah soon returned and drew back the curtain, but only very briefly. James screamed his protest. "Hey, I have seen it all before, and you are going to need to know how to put this on anyway," she said, as she held out before James to look at, which was a pretty pink skirted swimsuit. James's face turned pale. But he knew now that he could not refuse to wear it. He was trapped in the girls' changing room. "Okay," he meekly replied. There was not much else he could say or do for that matter. So he let Sarah help to put on him the pretty pink skirted swimsuit. Sarah had a great big grin on her face, as James looked so much like a girl now. Without warning, she drew back the curtain of changing cubicle. All of the other girls looked on and burst into fits of giggles of laughter. Sarah then took James by his hand. She dragged him out into the full open corridor of the changing room. All of the girls gathered around him to get a really good look at him. "Oh my God. He looks exactly like a girl." Oh, how the girls all laughed uncontrollably. "Oh, we have to simply see what he looks like from behind," cried out the girls. The skirt part of the swimsuit was really short. Sarah now turned James around. The swimsuit had straps and a small open back. All of the girls looked on in astonishment and at the little romp James had. Even from behind he looked like a girl. "Oh my God, he looks like a girl even from behind too. Are you sure, Sarah, that he is in fact a boy?" asked the girls in disbelief. Sarah's lips pursed into a wide smile. "Oh yes, quite sure." She took hold of James's hand and dragged him out of the changing room. The rest of the girls followed. Katie was simply amazed, as her pink swimsuit actually looked far better on James. Soon all of the others looked in Sarah's direction. They all could not believe their eyes. Soon James was dragged into the swimming pool and the other girls surrounded him. Other than being teased now and again, James actually enjoyed his time in the swimming pool. Time soon passed and all of the youngsters that were in the pool began to climb out and go into the changing rooms. It was near to closing time. Sarah and her band of friends were already gone. By the time James had realized, he quickly got out of the swimming pool and dashed into the changing room. A pair of pink sandals had been left outside of his changing room. James looked into all of the other cubicles. They were all empty, all of the lockers were all locked and the keys were removed. James looked on in horror. The girl had all gone and he was now left wearing the pink skirted swimsuit. James put on the pink sandals and he left the changing room crying his eyes out. Knowing now that there was no way he could go back home, the only problem was that he really had nowhere else to go to. James left the park and he made his way toward the woods. He walked on not knowing what to do. He soon came to a tree and sat down on the grassy area near to the tree. He just cried and cried. He had no idea how long he had been crying for, but daylight had turned to darkness. Where had the time gone to? James did not care as to the answer to that one. The moon soon came out. James had not even noticed until a moonbeam shone down on him. Then suddenly his entire body began to glow and then he vanished completely.